Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Monster Families. Today we're going to be going over the bat demons. At least they're supposed to be demons, but they're not. They're classified as animals, which I don't really know why they're called demons. They're literally called bat demons. I'm not even joking. However, none of them are demons, and you cannot damage them with any kind of demon attack. They're even stated to be bat demons multiple times. And I don't know. It seems really weird. Apparently they're not demons, but they are demons. They're pseudo-demons. I don't know. Every single one of these guys deals lightning damage when they attack, along with physical damage. So they always have both. Most of the time when you encounter them, they will be kind of like floating on the ceiling or like over here. Now this sometimes causes problems because you don't know exactly where they're sitting. And you can potentially run into them because they're sometimes difficult to see. In fact, I've seen a lot of sorceresses die to bat demons. And it usually has to do with the fact that they don't necessarily see the demons there, and they teleport right into the midst of them, and then the demons drop down on them and absolutely delete them from existence. And it's pretty funny whenever it happens, except when it happens to me, because it's not funny when it happens to me. But it's hilarious when it happens to everybody else. As you can see, you can't actually like click on them down here. And you can click on them up here, though, like on the ceiling. They float on the ceiling in the original version, too. You can see them kind of up here in the corner. It's a little bit more difficult to see them, of course, but this is one of the super unique ones. I think his name is Icehawk Riftwing. He always exists near the level 2 entrance to sewers, so this is one of the bat types, which you'll be able to find every single time. Now, of course, they dish out lightning damage with every single attack, and you would assume that maybe that changes if they don't, dish out lightning damage. Maybe they are doing cold or fire or lightning or whatever, but no, they dish out lightning damage with every single variation of their type. Now, some of them are immune to lightning, and some of them are not. Two variations, the Fiend and the Dark Familiar, are immune to lightning. One variation, the Gloom Bat, is immune to cold, and two variations, the Blood Diver and the Desert Wing, are immune to fire. The first appearance of these is actually in Act 2, not Act 3. You'll actually find these in Halls of the Dead when you go get your Herodric Cube. So they're kind of all over the place in their immunities. They generally tend to have relatively low physical resistance, so they're not really that difficult to kill as far as physical resistance goes, but they always have some immunity. They're either immune to lightning, cold, or fire, and they shift a lot. So you never really know which one you're going to be dealing with at any given time. In general, they can be really nasty. The additional lightning damage on their attack means that they always hit you with two different types of damage, physical damage and lightning damage. Their appearance on the ceiling like this makes it very difficult to know that they're there if you're not looking, and you can very easily accidentally teleport into a pack of them, and they will instantly swarm you. And they dish out some pretty decent damage. Now, to give you an idea of how good their damage is, you see how I'm taking damage right now? I'm taking damage through an absolutely insane piece of equipment that is supposed to prevent my death in just about any scenario. This armor has 205% all res, all absorption, including lightning, and it has 255% physical damage reduction, including 63 MDR and 63 PDR, and they are still able to damage me through this ridiculous piece of equipment, which is actually quite unique in the world of Diablo because most of the monsters cannot damage me through this piece of equipment. I even have 100 plus replenish life, which is kind of nutty considering that I am still dying. So let that sink in for you if you accidentally find yourself in a pack of these, that they actually do a significant amount of damage and can rip straight through some of the most tanky monsters in the game if they are attacking you in unison in a pack. Now, they tend to be relatively timid, though. If you attack them for whatever reason, they tend to run away when their HP gets low, and this makes their swarming capability not quite as strong as it could be, because all you have to do is fight. You just need to fight back. And if you fight back, they will run away. So if you stand there like an idiot and you let them wail on you like I was doing, it can be particularly dangerous. But If you're able to fight back in any way, shape, or form, there's a very good chance you can make them run away. Now, when they run away, they often will find a place to perch on the ceiling. As you can see over here, this one by the stairs has managed to perch. And they can also regenerate once they do so if you don't have any kind of like prevent monster heal or anything like that, which I believe I do have some prevent monster heal somewhere. Not entirely sure. But this guy's not regenerating, so I'm going to have to assume so. Now, when it comes to these guys, they're all over the place. You will find them in Act 2. You will find them in Act 3. I do not believe that they are in Act 4. But they are in Act 5. There are Fiends and Gloom Bats in Act 5 as well. So as you're teleporting around and you come across these packs by accident, they can be instant death, especially for a character that doesn't have particularly high faster hit recovery. Like, for instance, if I'm a melee character and I can fight back, I'm probably not going to have too much of an issue with these guys, unless my lightning resistance is particularly low. However, if you are a sorceress and you don't have good faster hit recovery and you teleport into one of these packs of bat demons, there's a very good chance you're just going to die. And I've seen it many times, and it's rather hilarious to watch like a sorceress just teleporting along, and then she hits one of these packs of bat demons, and then just instantly dies because the whole pack just drops from the ceiling and just it's like a ambushing pack of like PKers, like it's like coming out of nowhere and just annihilating you out of existence. They do have okay-ish block chance. And they're not particularly, like I said, very good against physical resistance. They do have a very odd modifier here, though, which is kind of weird, is they actually do have magic resistance in hell difficulty. Most monsters in the game do not have any magic resistance at all, or they're immune to magic, right? So, like, it's either 1 or 0. Right? So most of the time you don't find monsters that have like a partial resistance to magic. But for some reason or another, the bat demons have 25% magic resistance, which seems really weird and arbitrary. But they will reduce all magic damage by 25%, and there's no way you can stop that. I think that's pretty much it for these guys. They aren't particularly the most difficult monsters to deal with. They don't necessarily chase you either, which is also kind of unique in that, like, because once they run away, they kind of find a place and they just go hang out there. They tend to kind of avoid you as a rule. So you kind of have to poke the hornet's nest, so to speak, to get them to come after you in the first place. And if you're aware of their existence, you can kind of just skirt around them if you want to. You don't necessarily have to immediately attack them. Some of them can be even more annoying, like this one has teleportation as well as the runaway effect, which means that they're running away and they're teleporting constantly. Poison damage, open wounds, anything that does damage over time is going to be very useful against them if you're having trouble killing them outright, because of course even if they run away, they're still going to be ticking, and you can slowly kill them with that. I don't really like to hunt them down or anything. Like when they run away, like I kind of just avoid them unless they're like an elite or a champion pack or something like that. Most of the time you won't really see them in most areas. Like they don't tend to be the most common type of monsters, but they do exist in some of the zones that we like to go to. There was a really cool like wallpaper. I found this one guy on his name is Gabriel Santos. And he had drawn a couple really cool images of some of these monsters. And one of the ones that he drew an image of was the Bat Demon. If you guys want to take a look at this, it's over at Art Station, and the guy's name is Gabriel Santos. He's got some pretty cool stuff up here of like concept art for some of the demons. But as you can see, the demons are pretty creepy looking. I mean, they kind of resemble like almost like a Nosferatu kind of style bat. And then they have these like scythe like little feet on the bottom. And I was zooming in and looking at it, and they do have those scythe like feet on the bottom. They definitely do. So, I mean, I don't really know about the like, yeah, I guess even the older version has the scythe like feet on the bottom. Yeah, pretty creepy looking bats. Definitely not the kind of bats I'd like to meet in a dark alley. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it with these guys. Other than the fact that they can be annoying to some caster types, they generally tend to be pretty easy to deal with. Their high resistances do make them kind of a pain in the butt for like multiple different classes and types, because there's so many different variations of them with so many different immunities. So eventually, you will almost always come across one of them that has some immunity to your specific elements, and they'll be a little bit of a pain in the butt to deal with. Um, I think that's pretty much it with these guys. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you are enjoying the Monster Family series. And this is my full time job, so support the channel. And as always, keep watching.